Hello team, welcome back to ServiceNow Made Efficient. Call it SME, your guide to ServiceNow simplified, efficient, and accessible for all content. And today we would be talking about change management, one of the important part of your ITSM. And we'll know about what is change management, what are the different types of changes, and then we'll do a demo of it, like how do we raise the change, what are the different phases of a change, and how it goes through the different phases and what we need to provide in the change. So I'll start with a quick overview of change management. So it is a structured process. It helps organization to control and implement changes that we are doing in IT system and infrastructure. And the objective is to minimize the risk and impact. So basically, it ensures change management ensures that all the changes are reviewed, they're approved, they're properly documented, and you have done a good testing. You have a backup plan, you have a backup plan before you deploy those changes. So there are different types of changes as per you can create through models, but on a very high level you will find three main changes. One is your normal change, which has all the different phases, and in emergency change we skip the assessment part and approval, and then we have a standard change wherein we have pre-approved changes, and then we do not want to go through the complete life cycle of changes. Basically, we have the change created, you schedule the change, it is automatically approved because it is pre-approved, and then you can implement those changes. If I talk about the phases, so first is that once you create the change, then it will go through assessment and approval. There are certain approvals like the first from certain stakeholders, then CAB approval. Then once it goes through everything on the scheduled time, you will implement those changes. Once implementation is done, you have your review or PIR review, and then you will close the change. And if we talk about what we are going to cover in our walkthrough, we'll see how do you submit a change, uh, how assessment and approvals work, and then how do you implement it, and quickly we'll showcase how do you close it and then review those changes. So now we'll quickly move to the PDI and see how this demo works. I am in my PDI right now, and we will quickly go to the change. Oh, I've already selected one change, and we'll go to the create new. And as we discussed that, on a very high level, though there are different changes, you will see there are different ones. But on a very high level, there are three types, as I mentioned. One is your normal. This is your normal change. Then there is one on the left, which is emergency, and rest of them, what you see, which says pre-approved, these all are standard changes. So today we will be exploring on the normal change, and once you cover normal, I think you will understand the emergency and the standard change as well. So I click on the normal. To execute this change, what I have done is I have created a requirement about what we want to deploy the changes. So I've taken already certain information, so I will be using them just to save time. So I'm taking category here as network. I mean, that depends on what the category would be as per your change. So you will have to understand about these things, like what is the service offering, CI, and so you need to understand these part. We'll quickly move to the other one. Okay, so today we want to execute some changes related to payroll. I'll quickly search this one. Okay, I have SAP payroll, and short description. I'm adding this. Uh, and in case you do not have some fields of knowledge, so you can skip for the time being, but you need to get it reviewed and add it later on, once it is assigned. Short description is added. I want to add a description. So what I'm telling you is in this change that I want to add a new feature under SAP payroll to check the TDS monthly. And okay, so I have added more description about it. So you have to provide a good information about your change so that once it is sent to the team for assessment and all those things, or approval, they actually work on it and then approve in the very first go. Otherwise, it becomes a very lengthier process. Okay, I have more fields around it about my change. So I need about these fields also I need to mention, like why am I raising this change? Why are we making these changes? So I need to provide justification. So for now I have it is ready, um, written. So just like I've mentioned that then due to regulatory compliance, I want to mention I want to have a transparency with the system, user efficiency. Then next is my what is my implementation plan? How do I want to implement it? So I have mentioned at this that I have requirement analysis done. We will do the development, we'll do it testing, we'll get the necessary approvals. Like you need to have approvals and also the stakeholders buy in whatever changes you are making in the system. And then how you will deploy it. Then once it is deployed, you should monitor like it is working or not working, or in the initial phase during the hypercare time, is it throwing any challenges or any problems? So you need to address all those parts. So this is the complete implementation which takes care right from how this idea generated, and then how this idea is implemented, and is it working well or not. Risk and impact analysis usually, once you create it, it automatically is generated. But if you want to add, you can do it. I'm skipping it for now and go to my backup plan. So in case this change doesn't work, so what is my backup plan? So that I need to mention. So one of the important point in backup plan is that you should know how to roll back these things. So can you roll back to the previous version or the previous state the system was in? So you need to mention about that plan. Next is what is my testing strategy? What is my testing plan? So you can mention what are the different types of testing you have done, or you are planning to do on this requirement, on this change. So you can mention as per the applicability. I mentioned for now that these different testing, but you can mention as per your applicability or dependency. An assignment group, you can mention like what group it would be working. So you can mention your group. You can raise it on your behalf, or you can raise it for some other group as well. So you need to decide like who will be actually executing this change. So this change should be assigned to that person. And I'm keeping system administrator. Now we have almost filled everything. Also, now planning is tab is done. I need to mention a schedule. So schedule is very important. Suppose I want to do it on some day, and most probably you will be choosing a weekend because that's a time wherein you do not have most of the things in your environment. So I am suppose I am doing it on 8th Saturday, and so this is my start date and 7:53 time. Or suppose it will take me around 3 hours, or maybe let me mention 7, 8, 9, 10. I will mention 10. Okay, so I've taken 3 hours. Does it require CAV? Okay, I need to have it validated by CAV. We need to showcase it to them. CAV 8 and 10. So usually CAV happens on Thursdays. So because I'm doing it on 8, let me do it on 27. So by then I will be prepared, or let me mark it 60 to do it. And actual start date and actual end date, this will happen later on. Conflicts, nothing, notes, nothing, closure information. Okay, this is not required. I think we are good. Let me. Okay, I'm not submitting it. As in, I'll just save it. When I submit, it will not be on this form. So let me submit it. Okay, so our change is raised. So fine, I have my impact interest. Okay, approvers, change stars, problem, incident, fix incident calls. All this. Okay, so it is created. Now I will start with the assessments. Let me, because it's assigned to me, I will do the initial assessment and let me update it. Cool. We are in assessment phase and it is asking me. Usually in assessment, there it depends. Sometimes you have assessments form created because this is on a very uh, plain. It is out of box. We do not have configured or we do not have added um, other parts to it. We have not customized it. So you will not see much of the options here. But we have moved this change to the assess phase. In assess, you just validate, about your planning and all those things, schedule, everything. All of this information is done in the assess phase. So now I see I have these things, right? So I have approvers. So it is asking me that I need to get it changes waiting for approval. It needs to be approved by these persons, like either administrator who it is assigned to, or someone from this open space team. Uh, that they need to approve it. So once I have assessed everything, I need to approve it because I am logged into this UI, but also you will see this message as well here inside by discussion. See, system added a record card and it is assigned to you. Because once you have any approvals or anything, it will be assigned in your queue. Also, you can check it here as well, like my approvals. So you will have a request created. So if I open it in a new change, I think it will open. Wait, check. See, I have a change to be approved. So what I can do is I can approve it. I can simply click here approved. If I come here, so if I refresh it, I think it should move to, okay, now it has moved to the authorized stage. See, it is approved, right? So what happened here is, once it is assessed by someone, when we have already done assessment and we are saying that, this change is good to go to the next stage, it has come to the authorized stage. So what happens in authorized stage? You basically there is a cat team who authorizes your changes, like whether this change is ready for deployment or not. So this usually happens on Thursday. Like once they review it, so you need to join a meeting and explain them why you are raising this change and what is your motive. So you already provided information, but again, they might have certain questions around it, or they can help you if there is a conflict with any other change or any other policy, any other information. So you need to explain everything to them. Once it is done, once they are satisfied that this is with your explanation and about this motive and objective of this change, so they will approve it. So for now, as I'm system administrator, so I can approve on their behalf. But ultimately, any one of them from the CAB approval can approve this change. So for now, what I'm doing is I'm just approving it on their end. I think we should be good. Okay. So now we move to the schedule state. It means that our change is ready and we can start executing it. So it has been approved. This request is scheduled. So once it reaches to this time, you can implement this change. So for the implementations, we have certain tasks that needs to be created. So you can create on yourself as per the need. If not, like once you click on this implement, okay, so I have my test created. As in, we have this change task created. So now one of the important thing here is that everything, all the changes that you are doing have been captured here, right? All the activities captured here. So, like once you are in the implement stage, you will find that these are created tasks. So first task is for implementation. So let me quickly open it. Suppose you have started working on this configuration. So you can mention about start time when you've started actually started working on it. So you can mention that time. And for now, I'm not adding it because there will be a conflict of the time. So suppose I've worked on it, I've implemented it, so I can mention that change is implemented and there is no issue found. Successful implementation. Okay, so also you can mention a closure information. So successful with no issues. Copying it. So once it is done, I am I'm marking it as closed. Okay, so I'm back to my change here and see one of the task is done. So since implementation is done, so another part is that once implementation, there has to be a testing. So let me open the testing. Okay, so I'll mention same here as well. Suppose you have done everything, and so you need to record whatever you have done. You can attach your result, you can add it here, and here as well. I'm saying successful with no issues, and I'm closing this task as well. Okay, so if I come here, you see both of my tasks are closed. It means my implementation is completed. So it automatically, once both of my implementation is completed, automatically move to the review stage. Um, in review stage, I can check it if there is anything I want to add. You can do a peer review. Sometimes what happens, you can create a task altogether. Like for example, here, and you can create a review and you can assign it to some other team if they want to do a review of your change or not. So that you can do it. But we are not doing it because we know this is the process. So once we are done with the review, I will mention it in this is. Let me just reload this. Okay, this was another tab. Review is done. I will mark it close and I can save it. Okay. Oh, sorry. I need to mention, uh, like before closing it, I need to mention, like this is successfully completed with no issues, and I am saving it. Okay. So this is closed. Okay. So we have covered how to log a change. How does it move to the different stages like assessment? And here we have seen the approvals through first with the assessment, then on the CAB approval. Once it moves to the CAB approval, then how it is scheduled in implement stage, what are the different tasks created. Once those are created, you can get it reviewed by any other team, and then you close it. This is a quick overview about the change process. Similarly, in emergency, you skip one step, and in pre-approved or standard changes, you directly go to the scheduled and implement review. You do not have cab, access authorize those stages. So this is all about change request. I think this video will help you to understand, suppose if you are working or if you're using ServiceNow in your company or with the project you're working on. So you will be having a good idea about how change request actually works. So you can raise it in your environment and also guide them. Helpful for from BA perspective if they want to showcase a demo, and also if any new developer want to understand what are the different fields, if they want to uh, take a look around or want to play with change management. So this is a good guide for you. Um, Thank you so much for being with us. We're looking forward to have a new video created for ITSM. This time we would be moving to the problem management. So looking forward to have you with us on the problem management. With this, thank you very much. Uh, Let me know how it goes. If you have any difficulty, if you have any questions, I will be attaching certain important questions related to change request for your interview preparations and also to understand about change management in deep. Thank you so much. We'll connect soon.